Alright, it's the last one. Crime in the City, full episode, May 19th, 2023.
This week, Fox 5's Lisa Evers with another exclusive look inside an NYPD gang bust.
They'll be
Please,
fanning
Chef.
out to go and take down
Bro, I didn't even realize that shit.
NYPD gang bust.
That keloid looked fucking crazy on him, bro. I did not realize that. Yo. That shit's
They'll
crazy,
be fanning
bro.
out to go and
Is he gonna have to keep that shit on his face until he gets out? Like, until he gets, like, actual medical attention? That shit's crazy.
take down these
This
suspects.
chef.
Plus, a 15-year-old charged in a Brooklyn stabbing. And a new crackdown on rampant shoplifting in New York City.
The challenge is your job versus your safety.
Right now, Fox 5's Crime
Is he still in books?
City.
The challenge is your job versus
Oh, no, that's... Oh, that's like
Yes,
bacon or some shit. Oh.
Right now,
Look
Fox
like
5's
books.
Crime in the City. Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs.
Damn, man, going crazy. Brooklyn.
We start this week at Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where two
Ah, shit.
popular drill rappers are busted in a massive gang takedown.
Chef G in Sleepy Hollow, along with 30 other men and women, are charged in a sweeping gang murder conspiracy case. The Brooklyn DA says they allegedly used money from their music careers for guns and to offer bounties on the heads of rival gang members. We had an exclusive look inside the NYPD investigation that helped build the case. 22 teams made up of the NYPD's Gun Violence Suppression Division and the Warrant Squad were briefed about the
Damn.
case, which stretched
They got fitteds too?
Gun Violence Suppression Division
Nah, New York different, bro. I didn't even know you could wear fitteds. Are you in uniform? Damn.
and the Warrant Squad
Is that everywhere?
were briefed about
I
the
didn't even
case,
realize.
which stretches back 4 years. Over the coming hours, they took alleged 8 Trey gang members into custody. Some were already behind bars, like Michael Williams, better known as drill rapper Chef G, who previously pleaded guilty to gun possession. He was booked on new charges. Police say he controlled the streets even though he was locked down.
And let's talk about Chef. If Chef said something, it happened. A simple text.
This dude.
We got to get a big one. That simple text created a war.
Like, bro, you just chatting, bro. Ain't no one listening to you, bro. Just tell me where to go fucking arrest people, bro. Like, saying anything.
That simple text created a
This
war.
dude.
The
This
detectives
dude
and
a mob
officers
boss or
from the
something.
NYPD
You would
Gun
think.
Violence Suppression Division, along with the Warrants Division, have all gotten their assignments. Over 200 of them. They'll be fanning out to go and take down these suspects who have been pre-indicted on very serious allegations. The teams took the suspects not already incarcerated into custody without a single shot being fired. Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez says the gang members used more than 30 guns to threaten or eliminate their rivals, proudly
that shit's
posting and
rusty.
boasting on social media phone
Those are all
videos.
props,
This
bro.
surveillance video, where they pop out with guns from a sunroof and window, shows one of the street shootings included in the case.
Oh,
The
maybe
DA
not
says
that.
charges include murder, attempted murder,
Oh!
weapons
Nah.
possession,
Nah, the driver and the shooter is crazy. And you shoot. Yo. Nah, he's a fucking threat.
case. The DA says
Yeah,
charges
dual threat.
include
Look at him.
murder,
Oh, hell no. Nah, he
Attempted-
parked the car and everything. He parked the car. Yo, shot
murder,
back.
weapons possession, and
Like, you are not hitting
Other
that, bro.
crimes.
He think he could. Is he shooting forward now?
says charges
What the
include
fuck?
murder, attempted murder, weapons possession, and
He's like,
other
oh.
crimes.
Is that somebody? Like, what the fuck?
In total, Gonzalez says there was 1 murder, 4 attempted murders,
Yeah, was that
and
somebody?
12 non-fatal shootings.
What we allege and what we learned during the course of this investigation is that Chef G used a lot of the money that he earned
A
to
lot
help
of the money.
facilitate further gang activity.
Right.
He encouraged
Right. He used all the money he earned, a lot of the money he earned, and went and bought him a fucking steakhouse after he went on the drill.
gang
Like, what else do they got on Chef G, bro?
members to participate in violent crimes.
The sheer violence in this case.
And it's like, when Chef G comes home, when fucking Sleepy Hollow comes home, they never follow up on these indictments. Like, what y'all say versus reality, I really want to see, like, it's a night and day, bro. Y'all saying Chef G's this, that, and the third, listing off these crimes, saying all this shit, he gets fucking blank years, and then y'all never revisit the indictment. Oh, these people, like the RBT indictment, fucking Remo was home in less than a year, Stunner was home in less than a year. D-Thing's gonna be home this year or next year. So how, like, y'all making this shit sound good and making the pigeon all live, the shootings, the multiple shootings, y'all making it sound good, making it connected to drill. But most of these rappers and people on them indictments get home in less than a year because it's a state indictment, not a federal indictment. And most of the evidence is weak, and y'all just lock people up just because they're drill rappers and just because you think that these super savages that rap about the things that they do in real life when it's not, in fact, that at all.
Would stick out to me. The total disregard for civilians.
The magnitude of it. It stretches through a good portion of Brooklyn South. It's in the 40s. It's in Kings Highway, and it's all the way down to East 18th and Keaton. And it just really shows the command the A-Tray Crips and their elite alliances had over the Brooklyn South area.
At the 77th Precinct in Crown Heights, the suspects were brought in to be booked.
There's just many facets of the investigation that cover a wide range that have to be vetted.
After being arrested on the new charges, Chef G and 2 other suspects were taken to central booking. The celebrity status of the drill rappers increased their clout and influence on the streets. The NYPD says it is not targeting drill rappers. What they're going after are people responsible for gun violence.
Everybody looks up to these guys, so it's a shame that they're using this platform, the music platform, to actually, carry out, a negative message. When I say negative message, I'm not talking about the music, it's what they're actually doing.
District Attorney Eric Gonzalez says his office, along with the NYPD, will continue to target the most violent individuals responsible for the gun violence that has terrorized so many neighborhoods. If convicted, those arrested in this case are looking at the possibility of decades behind bars.
Next, in Lower Manhattan, the man who killed 8 people with a truck in 2017 learns
What
his
the
fate.
fuck?
The man who killed 8 people with a truck in 2017.
What the fuck? These are the people that they need to throw the fucking book at. These people right here, bro. What the fuck is he doing right now?
17 learns his fate at last.
Saifullah Saipov was described by prosecutors as an unabashed terrorist and a proud murderer who deserved no leniency. Today, the Islamic extremist was sentenced to 8 consecutive life sentences, more than 200 years in prison after he was convicted of killing 8 people in that Halloween terror-inspired attack back in 2017. Inside the courtroom today, Saipov had the chance to speak, and he did so for nearly an hour. There was no remorse from the defendant. Instead, he spent much of the time praising the Quran and justifying jihad. Prosecutors wanted the death penalty for Saipov, saying he never showed any compassion for the people he killed, in that he may have been planning to kill more people that day. But the jury couldn't reach a unanimous decision when they deliberated back in March. When asked,
I ain't gonna lie, how the fuck, I'm glad justice was served, he getting life sentences, but how the fuck did they arrest him this day? I really want to find out. Because what the fuck?
Today, if he did have any remorse or any regrets, Saipov sat motionless and wouldn't answer the question. It was Halloween 6 years ago when Saipov rented a Home Depot truck and mowed down pedestrians and bicyclists on a popular bike path that runs along the West Side Highway in Lower Manhattan. Saipov was shot by an NYPD officer moments after that crash when he came out of his truck yelling, "God is great," in Arabic. 2 Americans and 6 tourists were killed that day.
6 tourists, bro. That is wild. 6 people that aren't even from New York, bro, just came to visit, bro. Just can't go back home to their family.
And friends of those victims spoke outside federal court.
Like, who the fuck is recording this shit? Like, y'all not scared, bro? I'd be worried about my life getting up through. But that's wild, bro.
Tourists were killed that day. Family and friends of those victims spoke outside federal court before the sentencing was handed down. We'll hear from them first, and then one of the jurors who decided Saipov's fate.
I decided to forgive, in fact. But, to forgive because I didn't want to give opportunity to hatred, to rage. Because let's be fair, rage, hatred, what is it creating? Destruction.
These are complete strangers. We all got to know each other, and we all bore the brunt of this responsibility in such a sober, compassionate fashion. It really reinvigorated my faith in the U.S. justice system.
Next, we visit Manhattan and the epicenter of the shoplifting crisis in New York City.
New numbers from the NYPD tonight.
And they paint a picture of just how bad shoplifting has gotten in the city. Since 2018, thefts have gone up every year, with the largest jump, 44% in 2022.
Mayor Adams says repeat offenders were behind a third of those thefts last year. He's rolling out a new plan that has a catchy acronym and everything, but will it actually produce results?
All right, Linda Schmidt live in Midtown with the details. Linda.
Well, one thing is for certain there, guys, people are definitely sick of all of this shoplifting that we have been seeing and hearing about now for a couple of years. And in fact, today the mayor saying that last year there were more than 22,000 arrests for shoplifting, and repeat offenders were a big part of that. In fact, 327 people were responsible for 30% of that shoplifting.
Damn.
I was in Brooklyn.
They hit licks.
And it was horrible.
Letitia Page was a manager at a clothing store.
Having to deal with shoplifting is the hardest thing because the challenge is your job versus your safety.
Raza Khan works at 8th Avenue Gifts at 35th Street.
People, they steal always, they come in store, they grab, stuff.
It happens every day, and New Yorkers are tired of seeing merchandise locked up in their neighborhood pharmacies and other stores to prevent shoplifting. Mayor Adams is now rolling out a new plan he believes will cut down on retail theft. The district attorneys from all 5 boroughs standing with the mayor on this approach. Repeat offenders are a major problem.
250 people in 2023 have been arrested almost 2,500 times. Again, that's 30%. Who are these people? 52% are convicted felons.
The new crackdown includes giving first-time offenders intervention programs instead of prosecution, de-escalation training for retail employees, establishing neighborhood retail watch groups to share information about a theft in real time with one another and the police, and installing kiosks in stores to connect would-be thieves with social service programs. Ralph Salento is retired from the NYPD and currently an adjunct professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
When people come in that were just about to steal, they won't, because they realize that stealing is a source of a different problem for them. So they're going
I don't know, bro. This shit is boring, bro. They talking about shoplifting
use the
and
kiosk
shit, bro.
to access social services. I'm sorry, but that's just a pipe dream.
Salento says there is one deterrent to crime.
Shoplifters need to be caught.
A fucking sledgehammer?
Says
it's a fucking sledgehammer. What the fuck?
There is one deterrent to crime.
Shoplifters need to be caught. They need to be prosecuted.
Over at Grand Central, the MTA is looking to fight fare evasion with new high-tech turnstiles.
The MTA is ready to test out a new turnstile designed to cut down. Both feature clear, tall doors that swing open. The MTA also demonstrated how the alarm system works if somebody tries to follow 600.
Now, a 15-year-old charged in the stabbing of another teen at a park.
A 15-year-old now charged in the stabbing of an 18-year-old inside a Brooklyn park. Investigators say the two were involved in a dispute inside a McLaughlin Park back on May 3rd. Police say the suspect stabbed the victim multiple times in the torso. The
doing this shit in dunks and a fucking zip-up skull hoodie. Is that him taking the gloves off?
18-year-old is now charged with attempted murder, assault,
y'all be losing me, bro,
and criminal possession of a weapon.
The bandas for real.
Staying in Brooklyn, new videos released of the suspect in the sex assault of a woman asleep in her apartment.
Police releasing new video in the case of a woman sexually assaulted in Brooklyn. This is the man authorities are looking for. You can see the images here in the incident that happened on Friday out in Brooklyn Heights. According to investigators, that suspect entered the woman's apartment just before 2 a.m. while she was asleep. Police say he sexually assaulted.
Okay. Sexual assault is crazy. Obviously, like, throw him into the jail. Why the fuck you leaving your door open? Your door unlocked? He just walking in your crib? What the fuck?
To the 43-year-old victim, and when she woke up, he left the scene with her wallet. That's his sketch right there. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-577-TIPS.
Now to the Bronx, where a man is shot in the head and robbed in the Longwood section.
Oh, in the
police
tech.
are looking for the suspect in connection to a robbery. This happened out in the Bronx. Happened yesterday afternoon on Westchester Avenue. Police say the 48-year-old victim got into some kind of argument with the suspect. They say the suspect.
What the fuck's he shooting with? Low ass barrel. What the fuck?
Then displayed a gun and fired it several times, hitting the victim in the head and arm. Police say he then took off with the victim's cell phone and ran away. The victim was taken to the hospital where he is in serious but stable condition. If you have any information about this guy right here, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers 1-800-577-TIPS.
And finally, in Williamsburg, the search is on for the suspect who attacked and robbed a 73-year-old man.
Police searching for a suspect in the beating and robbery of an elderly man in Brooklyn. It happened just before 2:30 yesterday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, inside a building near Hooper and South 5th Streets. This is in Williamsburg. Police say a man approached the 73-year-old victim, put him in a chokehold, and then threw him to the ground. The suspect then removed the victim's wallet, which contained a debit card and $60 before leaving. The victim refused medical attention. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-577-TIPS.
And that's this week's Crime in the City. Subscribe for more at youtube.com.
This shit was losing me. The fucking MTA, fucking shoplifters.